So I believe that not using AI is actually going to make you better equipped for the future. Let me start off by telling you a short story about my niece. She is 13 years old. She's in middle school and she doesn't really like math. So she's using ChatGPT to do her homework. And because of this, she's getting good grades, which is great for her because this is what students are led to believe by us, that she needs to get good grades. This is encouraged by parents, it's encouraged by society. You need good grades to get into better colleges. Everything revolves around this particular metric. So I can't blame her. This is actually very relevant for us as a society as well. The results. Nobody cares about the process. So this got me thinking, what is she actually doing by using ChatGPT to do her homework? Now, kids have the option to outsource thinking. If something becomes a little bit too difficult for them, instead of actually being put under the circumstances to stay with that discomfort and try to develop skills and be creative about solving their problems, they actually now have the option to outsource that particular discomfort and outsource thinking and intellect to AI. So first of all, she's not developing skills, right? She doesn't actually know how to tackle problems without actually using AI. So she's not using AI as a tool. She's actually dependent on it to be good at what she does. So this is the first part. And the second part, I'm guilty of using AI as well, and most of us are. And it makes sense why, because like I said, we all value results more than the process. Everyone is actually encouraging faster output and just being more productive in general, and this makes sense. But I was thinking that the more we actually do this, the more we use AI, the less we have to use our brains to solve problems. Our brain is just like a muscle. If you use it to solve problems, if you use it in difficult situations that are, discomforting for you, you have to find solutions. You're going through confusion, you don't know what to do, how to approach it. Your brain gets better and better and better at doing that, right? You develop skills handling uncertainty and problem solving. If you don't use those skills, even if you have developed them in the past, right? So let's say my generation and some generations after me, we went through school and we actually were forced to do this because AI wasn't available. So even though we have these skills now, by not using them, we are just going to lose them in time, because the brain, like I said, is just like a muscle, and the body is very very good at optimizing. Something that is not needed anymore in the body is going to be pruned out. The body is just going to get rid of it because it consumes energy and it's just pointless. It's better to use that energy to adapt for something else. In time, all of us will basically lose our ability to problem solve, to have creativity, to be, subject matter experts and understand topics in depth, because there will be no point in doing that. There won't be any incentive going through the pain, through the struggle of understanding and fixing issues ourselves, fixing problems ourselves, because AI is going to get better and better at it. It's just going to be so much easier to rely on it. This has a fundamental issue. AI, and specifically large language models, they are actually trained on human data, right? So all the knowledge that humans gathered throughout history, like books, research, art, everything, right? Everything that AI is trained on up to this point is human output. What's going to happen if we allow this to go further is that we will rely on AI more and more and more and more. So instead of us using AI to create output, AI is slowly going to use us to create its own output. So, in time, human knowledge will just be a remix of all the previous knowledge that we gathered, nothing more is going to be output because there's nothing more added into the system. So just think about it like this. You have three books, right? You have three books. There's only so much you can learn from three books. You can draw some conclusions. You can write another book. You can use that fourth book to gather more conclusions, maybe. At some point, you just start circling the same words and the same concepts over and over and over again. In time, this will just lead to mediocrity, and everything will start looking the same, or the output is going to be the same, and we won't have anything new. People say, start using AI now. Don't become obsolete for the future. AI is going to replace all the jobs. And that's true to an extent. People also say that you know AI is not going to be great at creativity. So the edge that humans will have is creativity and problem solving. And this is exactly my point. If we use AI too much, if we outsource thinking to AI, our competitive edge is gone because our brain is going to prune it out, right? We will no longer need those skills because we never put ourselves through the effort of trying to find solutions to problems, to be creative. So yeah, I think this is actually one of the big caveats that we need to be wary of. I'm not saying don't use AI ever, but you have to be aware of the fact that if you outsource everything to AI, if you outsource thinking, if you outsource problem solving, and if you just use output of AI all the time, you're just going to get lazier and lazier and lazier, and your brain is going to adapt. You will lose your ability to be a creative problem solver, to be innovative. So going back to the story of my niece, I suggested to her, let's keep you using AI. Actually, I think it's a good tool for you to learn, but instead of just copy pasting the problem that you're trying to solve into ChatGPT and asking for solutions, let's propose a new way of working with it. Take the problem that you're trying to solve and try to solve it yourself. Put pen to paper, try to solve it. You get to a certain point, it's probably not going to be good, it's probably not going to be great. When you're stuck, just tell AI, okay, this is as far as I've gotten. Let me know how I did, give me some feedback, let me know where I went wrong so I can learn. So instead of using AI to outsource your thinking, you're using AI as a feedback. Provide it with your input, and you're just going to bounce ideas off of it, right? And AI is actually great at this. So I think this is something that we should all do. Try to keep our competitive edge. Don't rely as much on it, and don't become dependent on it. Because if we do, we will all be interchangeable, right? Nobody will know more than what the system already does. There will be no subject matter experts, and everyone will just look the same. So let me know what you guys think. Just want to spark some conversation. Let me know in the comments if you have any ideas, any input, if there's something that I missed. So until next time, thank you. Bye.